Moving on to video game news, we had a big reveal: the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. So this was, I think it was Monday, leaked somehow. Some fucking leaker even got like
It's
their
probably Phil Spencer.
advertising video and stuff
It's their
like that.
marketing
Like,
ploy, I'm telling you.
I don't know about that, but so they revealed that there's going to be the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S is coming out November 10th, pre-order starting September 22nd. The Series S, which is the smaller version, the non 4K version, the non-discless or the discless version, will be $299. And then
American.
okay, yeah. I just go off what their website says. I think everyone else can figure it out.
This
After.
guy posted the prices for both consoles earlier on the Geekers page. He didn't put any caption with it though. It's like nothing, like no release date, nothing, just an image. That's what you put up earlier.
When?
This morning, I had to go in and put like, oh, this is the price Canadian and American for the X and the S, and the release date's November 10th. Because I looked, I was on the page, like I'll post it, like, oh, you just put an image on here. So I edited it in the caption.
Oh, two kids is really getting to me.
That was the one too that he just like all he put was the prices revealed or something like that. Like there, and then it was just American. Like there was no actual conversion or anything.
Well, I only put the American because that's the leading company, and most of our viewers and Facebookers are all American. Okay, it's the way Canadian. It goes. We are Canadian, but we're going with the majority of the audience here. And I don't even know. I feel like, Taylor, you just copy and paste stuff. Like you going, it's official. That's not your post. That's completely just off some blog post.
Did I put it's official in there? Well, I'm going to copy and paste the price. So I can't rewrite $4.99 in any other way.
Okay, no, you know what? Go fuck yourself. So here's what I posted. I posted the release date and when pre-orders can happening. And then also I posted the fucking picture. And you know what the picture says? You can go to our Facebook, check it out. It has the prices. So I don't need to go fucking type it out because, oh, he didn't put $4.99 and $2.99. They're not gonna know. They're not gonna know what the price is. It's on the picture, you dipshit.
If you say
this Saturday, you're done for. You're a dead man.
It says posted by Taylor Field because I made the last edit of the release date and the prices on there in Canadian dollars. You just put the image of the American prices.
That's a complete fabrication.
No,
I know that I
posted by Taylor Field because I made the edit after you posted the image. I posted the extra comments or caption in there.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I think that's a falsehood. You may just delete my post, but I remember specifically putting that stuff. So nice try.
No, you did nothing. It's published by you and there's no caption.
Oh, there you go. Boom! Check the facts.
And then
Where's
this
that
edited
from?
by Taylor where he adds the stuff.
Oh, no.
Let me show.
Jessica coming in with that scoop. Thank you, Jessica. Look at that, Travis.
And yeah, so he updated it with the prices and then he also updated it with the release date and the pre-order start link. So
oh, that's really interesting. I wonder what happened there. So the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S has been renewed. Taylor, we'll start with you. You're Mr. Xbox. What do you think about? Also, we'd heard rumors about a smaller console that's been confirmed. So what do you think about that? What do you think about the price? What do you think about all this enchilada?
All this enchilada. There's a lot of beans in this, so I'm excited. I mean, if it was anything over, the price of like, if I was having dreams it was going to be $6.99, I was so terrified, and I'm glad that's not the case. So,
describe me that dream.
Sweats.
Yeah, describe me that dream. Was the number $6.99 chasing you?
No, I had like 9 blankets on top of me. I was like really sweating, and it was like I was going to the store and I didn't have the money because it was $6.99, and I had to leave the store too, which is really upsetting. I didn't want to leave. I was forced.
Question, very important question. These 9 blankets, is this in the dream or in real life?
That's real life.
So right now, when you're thinking about the console, all this lead up has been in the summer. It's been fucking scoldering hot here. Why are you having 9 blankets on in the middle of summer?
It was 3 degrees last night.
But that's chilly. Last night. We already had the price. Like we had the rumored price. So it's like, what this whole summer? What you said this whole summer you've been terrified.
No, this is a recent nightmare from like after we got the price drop.
Within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours, because when the Slim released, then I had the nightmare. It was terrifying. So, but I'm excited for this console. It's I think the Slim is fantastic. It's got the ray tracing. It's got the all that fancy jazz gizmos.
Not 4K.
Not 4K, which is fine. 500 something gigs of a hard drive space.
Very small.
And very small. But again, this is something that's going to work hand in hand with xCloud as well. So it's going to be probably leaning towards one of those things where you're essentially not even having to download the games. You're just streaming.
Ever the spin doctor, Taylor is.
So the overall analysis is, yeah, good console, great price, highly recommend it. And
so Taylor, again, so can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Why would anyone buy either of these consoles?
For the Game Pass.
Because I don't think we've talked about this on cast, but Halo's been delayed, so that's good. I can't remember. I don't know if we touched upon that.
The games are being delayed. That's fair. But when you look at, let alone the Xbox Series S, that is the equivalent of, from my knowledge, probably like a $700, $800 like custom built gaming computer, and you're paying $379 Canadian.
A gaming computer is not going to be in fucking 1080, my friend.
No, what I'm saying is if you spend around $700 on a gaming computer build, custom build, everything that $700 computer can do, this Xbox for $379 can do it the exact same.
No,
that's what I'm saying, 4K or not. No, I've been talking, Kirkland, get in on this conversation. You're a PC guy, because I've been talking to some PC people, and they've been giving me like the ideas, and I've been trying to like check these things.
You can say whatever you want, but the second you say a PC's 4K and this isn't 4K, right away, that's a huge thing.
I never said it's 4K. I said if you were to spend $700 on a gaming PC, what it can do is pretty much the equivalent to what this Xbox Series S can do. Not 4K. If you want a 4K PC, you're going to be spending well over $1,000.
That's true.
Is it?
Whoa.
I feel like everyone's just against me. Everyone's rooting against me in general this Saturday. But like,
come on.
So Kirkland, you think this $300 console is comparable to a $700 to $800 PC?
I think you're putting words in my mouth. I never said
no,
that.
I'm not. I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you the question because that's what Taylor Field's saying. He literally just said it could match that. So do you agree with that statement?
I feel like you're putting me on the hot seat here.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Grab that plant.
I don't know. There's a lot of asterisks, a lot of possible variables that could.
Hey, so Mr. Switzerland, hang on before we get back to you, Taylor. So let me ask you this: if you, because you're a madman, so you're gonna do it, that's fine. What would any realistic person buy a new console when you say your main selling point was Game Pass? Okay, cool. Game Pass you can get on every single Xbox right now, including when we get a new Gears, a new Halo, all of these exclusives. So you could wait a good 2 to 3 years before there's any exclusives just on the new Xbox. Why would you spend even $300 more for us $400 when you could literally do, when you say, oh, Games Pass, you could literally, especially with the small, there's people out there that have Xboxes right now that are 4K and they could be playing Games Pass the same way instead of getting the small for. I think it's great for people adopting, but I don't think, of course you have kids. I get that. There's always going to be a new generation of people coming up. I'm talking more about the 14 and over. I'm talking about the crowd that already has their consoles, whether they're PlayStation, they're likely sticking with PlayStation. I'm talking just the Xbox crowd that is, like I said, 14 and up. They have an Xbox, and other than just being the new thing, if you have money to blow, that's great. We do that as gamers, but what is a realistic reason to buy any of these consoles?
Well, the Xbox does have like a couple of those new exclusives like Scorn and the Medium, and I mean they don't like entice me, but those are a couple of exclusives that are popping up.
Have you guys heard of those games, Scorn and Medium?
I have, but that's because I'm interested in some deep cut. Some deep cut niches of the interwebs.
Are you buying a console for that? Are you buying a $300 system?
Is
for that
actually like console restricted? I thought that was coming to PC. I guess Games Pass.
Oh, look at that! Pass, yeah. They fucking shot themselves in the dick years ago by putting them to PC.
But again, it's I mean, in terms of like games, the Game Pass is available on previous gen and such, but it just, in a sense, it comes down to like when I had a 360 and then the Xbox One came out. Sure, I could have bought Black Flag on 360. I could have done all that, but no, I wanted to upgrade the console. So
There was other exclusives though for Xbox One.
like Rise.
Yeah, you were super excited for Rise.
No,
I talked to
I
your
was
mom.
never excited.
Yeah,
about
I talked to your
Rise.
mom last time she was in town. She was talking about how much you were so excited
yeah.
for. Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it doesn't matter if there was for Rise or Dead Rising 3. There was still you can't get this anywhere else but the new Xbox. This Xbox doesn't have that.
You cannot compare the 360 and the Xbox One with the Scorpio and the Xbox S. Like my
in
Scorpio.
terms of games or in terms of power? Because if it's power, I'm not comparing it on that front.
Well, no, that's what you're talking about. With when you had your 360 and Black Flag came out, you could have bought it on 360 or on the Xbox One. Well, that's comparing the same thing of Game Pass on the Scorpio to the new Xbox. That's what you're trying to make that comparison is why you bought one to the other. But
Taylor's trying to think his way out of here.
The buying of it.
He's just gonna leave the chat.
He's that meme
Yeah.
of that chick with like the math equations going on.
The buying of it is simply because I didn't need to buy an Xbox One at the time. I could have kept my 360. Like if people could do here, they could decide to keep their Xbox Ones and not upgrade for sure. That's totally fair. But the reason I bought the one at the time when it came out day one was because I wanted to get that upgrade and upscale because I knew that there were new games coming down the pipeline for it. So I wanted to get on that hype train ASAP. But again, that's just me. I can't speak on behalf of everyone else. But when it comes to Christmas time and people are like, I want to get the new console or I want a new Xbox or PlayStation, the parents are going to look at what they can, get their kids that are cheap, obviously.
But that's again where my point goes when the kid says, I want to play this game, and then no, it's even cheaper than $300. Oh, look, I could buy this game for $60 on the Xbox they already have right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely give you that because even then, like,
if we're going with the cheap grandparent option, they'll go as cheap as $50 instead of being, could you play this on your old one? Yeah. Well, here you go, little Jimmy. Here it is.
But again, on that front too, it's not necessarily playing on the old one. How do you know, like, you have PlayStation players that are just going to jump ship and jump to getting a cheaper console? Because
what?
you have
what? Lead me down this one, detective.
We're talking solely
me and
about
Kirkland are gonna jump to the Xbox
no,
Series S.
I'm not saying you guys. I'm saying like other PlayStation fans just out there. So you have people
ones
that
we don't know about out in the wild.
Out in the wild, yeah. So you have people that obviously they have an Xbox One, and sure, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not gonna buy you a new console when I can get you a $60 game and you can play it on your old console. But then you do have people that may, depending what the PS5's price is going to be, they may not want to fork out $499 or $399 for a new console. They may just jump over to the cheaper Xbox, right?
But they don't need to buy a new console with Xbox. There's no new games on it. There's no Spider-Man Miles Morales. There's no exclusives. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't need to. I don't get the jumping off argument because they'll just stay. They'll just stay on Gilligan's Island with the Xbox. Whatever.
But then
I don't even know what they're fucking called anymore. The One X, whatever.
But then
it is.
why would they put out next gen consoles? Period. Because yes, you have the Miles Morales Spider-Man game for Sony, and then you have the other one I can't remember, Deathloop. But that's been delayed, right?
Yeah, but it's still
you do have these games coming out. But then what's the point of even releasing a next gen console if no one's going to get it right away? I mean,
to keep up with Sony.
To keep up, sure, but I mean, people see these new consoles right now, and everyone's talking about what console they're getting right now, day one or at launch or by Christmas time. Even though they're not necessarily talking crazily about the games or the exclusive, everyone's just talking about, oh, this console's cheaper, the Game Pass, or I'm waiting for the PS5's price drop. Like, people are just talking about consoles right now. So I feel like yes, the exclusives and the games, like all that kind of pull is there. But at the end of the day, it's a new console, and people are buying it for the new console right now. That's all I'm seeing, I guess so.
All right, fair enough. Jessica, what do you think about these price points and everything? $500, $300 American.
So I will say that for sure I can see where Taylor's coming because even when the price drop came out, Matt had his phone and he showed me a picture of it, and then he showed Mordecai and he goes, oh, look, it's the first console you're gonna play. It didn't necessarily matter what the price point actually was. It was just a new Xbox console, and we play Xbox, so there's just the automatic assumption that obviously, yeah, we're gonna buy it. Mm-hmm. That being said, I don't do discless. like having the display of all the games I own. So I will probably end up buying the one with the disk drive. And because of the price point and the fact that there aren't any games coming out right away that that I'll want to buy a hard copy of, I definitely don't think I'll be buying this day one.
Mm-hmm.
So, because the things that I would like to play would, Halo, New Gears of War, things like that. And right now, that's not there to be the driving force to get me to buy one.
Do you think there's gonna be a? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, even with the last one, we weren't stoked about games, but we bought it and bought like Rise anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, like with Kai, I don't have the time, so it's not worth it for me to just go drop $600 and grab whatever first shitty game I see.
Right. No knack equivalent.
Nah.
It's so bad.
I remember you had it and you were telling me about that game.
You got a knack for getting those games. There's that. There's Rise. What was that other? What was it? Battleborn, or what was that one?
Battleborn.
Oh
Battleborn.
yeah.
Yeah, that came out at the same time as Overwatch.
Yeah.
The exact same time.
Oh dear.
Didn't pan out. Kirk, what do you think about all this?
Do you think there's gonna be a lot of disappointed little Jimmies about like, oh, they want the $600 version, but their parents get them the discless version that doesn't have all these things, and they're just gonna be so disappointed?
Yes.
I think if the only difference is the fact you can't put a disc in it, I don't necessarily know that there will be much disappointment, especially with Game Pass.
Well, hardware.
I think it depends on the. I think it depends the age. Like, I think if you're saying 10 and under, no. But I think if over, if some of their friends come over and they go, if they go, oh, you don't have the 4K one.
Wow.
Wow. Like, oh, your storage is already filled up. Wow. Like that's if you get the snotty teenager. Yes, I think there is the kid that is on IGN, the kid that's listening to this podcast, which we've scarred you, they will be disappointed. I'd say that like 10 to 16, they don't have their own money. Under, probably not. Eventually they'd grow up and be like, oh, my parents bought me the home brand craft dinner, not the real, not KD. But the Walmart one was really good, to be honest. The white cheddar, oof, fantastic.
I would defend that.
I used to so many times too. The Walmart one was really good. I'd undercook the noodles, and I'd actually quite like that. I liked with a good chew in there. But yeah, so I think those age ranges. But I think the littlest of the little Jimmies, no.
Yeah, there's gonna be so many people too. Like Jessica and Taylor already said,
I think
it's
part
just
of
the
it
new
too,
Xbox, right? Oh, sorry, Jessica's cutting out.
I think she was talking probably before you were going on her end, and then Jessica, you're back. Go ahead.
Another thing too for the discless one is because everything's streaming now as well, right? So a lot of people were, they use it for playing DVDs or Blu-rays, but now it's all Netflix, Hulu. Yeah. You don't actually need that disc drive for that either, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I even know a lot of people that I work with that they'll always be getting the new consoles for whatever reason. I don't know, just kind of like us. I guess
it's in our blood,
Yeah, exactly. Gotta just keep playing the newest and bestest. Jeez, that's a
gotta
bad
fork out $700, be like, oh, that game was all right, and then don't look at your PlayStation 5 for a few months until the new game comes out.
Yeah, but like Jessica mentioned, like it's already so geared towards streaming these days. I mean, even for me on PS Plus, like I have so many games in my backlog of just those 2 free games that you get every month that like I want to play someday. They're just on there. I don't have a disc for them because I don't need one, which is awesome. But it definitely is going in that trend of not needing discs to get those games. And a lot of people, I don't know. I think I have 500 gigs on my PlayStation. Yeah, it sucks having to uninstall one game. I mean, when Red Dead came out and that was over 100 plus, I can't imagine what Warzone's like.
Like 250 now.
3 terabytes.
That's I wouldn't even doubt it, honestly. It's insane. That's another reason why I actually don't play it on my PlayStation, is I just don't have room for it. But
do any of you even have a 4K TV?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty common now, I'd say.
It's just in TVs. It's kind of like when everything was 1080. It's like you had to pay more, and then everything was. That's the way when my TV broke. Almost every TV was 4K, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing. So yeah.
3D option. Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Oh yeah, I never got that.
I don't
Yeah.
have a 3D. I'm just saying. Everyone that's had a 3D
sure,
TV, I feel like they just don't ever use the 3D option.
They don't talk about it.
No, except for the porn. So yeah, I am very interested to see what happens with these sales. I will probably be getting one of these. I don't know which one. I originally thought, because for Canada it's almost $400, the slim one. I do just want it for Game Pass because that would be nice to have. So I will do that. But with the, which I will give them credit for, they've talked about these being more like phones. The financing things are pretty good. The S is $25 a month for 2 years, and then the X is $35. For that point, I would just do the X at that point because it's like $10 more,
Yeah.
and that includes Game Pass, which also they announced that EA Play is going to be included in Games Pass as well, which is a really, really good service if you like sports games and anything else EA is putting out. So I think they're making good moves. I think the only negatives I had about this is one, it sucked. Like, whoever let this leak, they need to find this person and hunt them down and get rid of them, because like it's cool. I'm happy we have the
Dispose
prices.
of their body.
Well, I'm happy we have the prices. Like, even if it's Phil, get rid of him. You know, like chop his head off, send him down the
I
waves. You
wouldn't
know,
advise that. No violence.
of course not. You know, figuratively, I wink. But no, I just think like it sucks because I just feel like this was such a lackluster way for it to come out. Of like, it leaked, all the artwork leaked, and then like Xbox had some fun using some gifts to like play it off, but they didn't get that big oomph moment. They didn't get that tune in this Tuesday to watch us reveal our fucking consoles, our price, our date, everything. It was like, when you're marketing video leaks, what the fuck is going on over there? Like,
tune in to see what we do to the whistleblower that we found.
just Phil's upside
one of
down
those,
getting
like, terrorist
waterboarded.
videos. Yeah.
This will never happen again. But like, I can't believe that this has happened, and I just feel like it's classic Xbox. And again, if they didn't have the 300 one, I think they'd be in more trouble. The X, I get that's powerful. There is word going around in some articles that they're selling both of them at a loss, so that's very interesting. But the 499 one, if you want the most powerful, it is interesting that they went with the exact same price that they did with the Xbox One originally. And then what happened after that? PS4 came and said, "Oh no, we're $100 cheaper." And then Xbox 2 days, they're like, "Oh no, yeah, we're $100 cheaper too. We'll match it." And then it was just like, obviously it leaked, so it's not their fault. But the fact now that PlayStation has the upper hand, they know what that price is. I guarantee you, even if they're selling it at a loss, it's going to be cheaper. And I wouldn't be surprised if they throw down that Sony cock and make it $100 cheaper again. Because yes, the S is cheaper, but then someone could make the pitch of, you can get a console that plays 4K, that has all these bells and whistles, the haptic controllers, all this stuff, and exclusive games for just $100 more. Which is, and PS Plus, we don't even know, or not PS Plus, but PS Now, they're like Games Pass. They haven't talked about that being served, so that could be super refurbished and really big. They haven't even unveiled all that stuff. So I think $200, sure, but if it's only $100 different than S, even then, I think even if this came out at $500, it would still beat Xbox. But I think it's guaranteed to be $450, but almost guaranteed to. I won't say almost guaranteed, but I would see it being $400 just because, just to drop a fuck you, and they're gonna be like, well, this is what we're doing, you know. And just
the scary thing with that is, okay, like when you look at both businesses, like Microsoft has much more of like a financial foundation to sell these consoles at a loss, whereas you look at Sony, yeah, they can take a loss, but that means they're going to be putting out limited run of these consoles. Well, not a limited run, but they're going to only be producing like so many and selling so many at any given time, because it's going to be, if they just pump out a whole, I would ideally like to see them pump out like tens of thousands of these consoles and then just stock the shelves everywhere. But I don't believe they're going to do that. They're going to know it's going to be in demand, so they're probably going to, take a lot of orders and just kind of like meet the quotas that they're picking up on through pre-orders and such. Because if they overproduce, I mean, to me, I feel like it'd be justified, because if they undercut and overproduce, I mean, it could go either way. I mean, I still feel like it could be dangerous, but it's they're gonna play it safe. I feel like if they cut it back by $100 and drop that $399 price tag or whatever for this, then it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be risky. It's going to be dangerous.
We'll see, because the PS4 had limited quantities at launch, and everyone I knew that wanted PS4 got one, because I do think the main adopters will do it, but I think the little Jimmies, the families, they get those at Christmas. They wait for the big moment, they wait for a sale. I think the people that are the early adopters, those are the ones staying in. And of course, you'll have a few people go, "Oh, I didn't get my pre-order," but you'll find some eBay, you know, is this person sketchy? Ooh, 95%, not 100 reviews. Should I go with, you know, Texas Hold'em 89? We're taking the risk. And then right when you order it, he says, got you, fucker. And there goes your $800, you know? So you got to be careful out there. But anything else on these consoles?
For me in closing,
I don't like that one.
I just picture Phil Spencer trying to buy a PlayStation through eBay. It's getting fucked over.
Send his Dropbox link out for the video.
I screenshot you, Phil.
Also, I gotta say, xCloud, that's terrible. That just sounds, my mind just goes porn. Like that is not a good name. Yeah,
it does.
xCloud, triple xCloud. Yeah, for me in closing, I just think for the biggest pull again for the Series X is I'm happy that I know one last pitch. I'm happy that I know that all my discs I can just pop them in and it'll work fine with that. I love that. I like that it's just the backwards compatibility, and that just
it really sold big time for them last generation.
Well, last time, I mean, it definitely didn't work in their favor right off the hop.
No, not at all.
But I think, now I just think it's a given. I'm so happy that, I'll be able to play the Series X and it'll be able to play Xbox One games, 360, and all these original games. So.
Did they not have more going for them on the last launch, and that did terrible as well?
The last launch was mostly just software based. Like it was just a lot.
Well, they had games though too.
They did have some games, but a lot of what they were doing was just trying to set up these programs, like trying to set up, like Games Pass wasn't even a thing at the time.
Yeah, they were more about being a media player, and that kind of screwed them too. It was less about gaming. Where now it's about gaming, but
online.
The
camera will be watching you at all times.
Yeah, you have to have a connect.
Like tracks you while you're having sex. It's just
but now they say they're more about the gaming, but I don't see too many games around, so.
I'm just happy that
I see a lot of old games.
Old games,
which isn't bad. Scratch that nostalgia.
It's not, but when I'm spending $600, you know.
Yeah. I'm happy that you're happy, Taylor. I love that you're passionate towards Xbox, and
I am not gonna have an Xbox for the stream. I hurt Travis's feelings earlier.
Yeah, you're just depressing. A piece of shit. You know, the kids need us to play some games. You know,
how much money are you saving on that? Let's be honest.
I'm saving $150. Which is actually pretty hefty.
Sell your Xbox privately. You'll probably get more.
No one, everyone knows that doesn't work.
Phil might buy it off you.
Yeah. Dylan? No.
I said maybe Phil.
Oh, Phil. I said Dylan. I was like, Dylan, no.
Yeah. Good luck with that pitch.
You should try to pitch him just as a joke. And
yeah.
Oh no, man! This is a great deal. $300 flat.
You take it so seriously too. Like I can picture his response. I don't know, man. I'm just really not needing an Xbox right now.
I'll give you Rise included. Nothing else though. I need the other games for my backwards compatibility.